You wanted to heal through this, and you got your healing. Now, on the stage, you didn't get this. Then it's like a unwinding. You know, you've worked so hard, and now suddenly it's like you're back, you're crashing. So I felt like I was crashing. So everything ended. I remember my family came through, and I remember when they came up on stage, I was like, the fact that my family drove from Lepalale, those are the people that I wanted to make proud. When I said I didn't feel love throughout and I wanted them to love me for something, they came for the pageant. They would love me because I'm now a pageant queen, you know? But then they loved me despite ever being whatever pageant queen. It was not even that. So I needed to find it in myself that I'm deserving of love.
Welcome back to another exciting episode of the KJ Real Talk. I'm so excited to be joined with one of the coolest people in pageantry, Precious Manaka Gold, public speaker, Miss Kev 2024, public choice and mental health advocate and entrepreneur as well. Girl, welcome to the safe space, and how are you doing?
Well, do you really want to know how I'm doing? I'm happy to be here.
Yeah.
I'm very excited, like literally inside of me. I'm very excited, especially because this is my first podcast that I'm doing ever since the pageant winning on 1st of November 2024. So I've literally been inside the house. The only time I went out was to do the event that it's a mental health event. They were recognizing my advocacy, so it was very beautiful to get out and do that. But other than that, I'm very excited to be here.
Yeah. We want to talk about Ms. Kev, and congratulations on winning it, public choice, and how are you feeling with the sash and the crown?
It's unreal. It's unreal. I mean, throughout the year, I've just been saying I'm a finalist, and you really don't know what the look of what you're chasing is going to look like. Like you are chasing after the crown, but how will that look like? What then after you get it? You know. So yeah, I'm still trying to settle in.
Sink in?
I'm letting it sink in because I mean, I didn't get the title. I didn't get the Miss Curvy Queen title. Mulalo Maputa got it. A very gorgeous sister of mine, my queen sister. Congratulations to her. I didn't get what I thought I deserved. But you know what? I'm living with it.
You did it.
I did it.
Yeah. Happy holidays. We're close to Christmas right now. Give me your top 5 Christmas movies recommendation.
Ooh. What did I watch? I've watched Disaster Holiday. Did you say movies?
Yeah.
Oh, just things to watch. Anything to watch.
To do with Christmas.
Okay. Christmas holiday. What is it? It's Christmas holiday. I'm not big on movies. I'm not. I'd rather read a book. I'm not big. What else is out there? I know Disaster Holiday. I've really enjoyed it. What else is out there? I'm not quite sure.
I don't even know. We want to talk about your career. Obviously, you're not just a pageant girl, you're an entrepreneur. You also, one of the things that kind of like resonate with me, you know, you're acting. You started acting, right?
Yeah.
And you had a character on its own. What do you feel? Do you feel like you need to be, do you prefer acting or behind the scenes?
Oh, never behind the scenes. I mean,
Yeah.
I studied audiovisual communications, which is literally behind the scenes. But throughout my study, I never really used to be behind the camera. I was ever in front of the camera. So never.
As always.
So, yeah, I'd prefer acting, presenting, definitely.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Give us a brief. Who is Precious in general, aside the title? Yeah. Who is she? Get to know me.
Get to know me.
Yeah.
So Precious Manaka Gold is a beautiful woman from Limpopo, Lephalale. I was born in Mankweng, and then I grew up in Lephalale. And then after my matric, my matric I did it back in Mankweng again, Mahongwana High School. That's where I'd say I feel I found myself, because I was a teenage mom, and somehow that basically goes with my identity.
Yeah.
Because I was pregnant at 14, and that was just quite life-changing. And then I'd say I kind of went through trauma, and then literally just, I'd say, found myself again when I was finally in Johannesburg after matric. I studied at UJ, and then I'm known as Golden Girl.
Yeah.
Golden Girl is a presenter for Varsity TV, is an MC at events, life of the party. But then I changed my name to Precious Manaka Gold when I fully feel like I've gotten full circle with myself and my identity, not hiding behind like I had been, and not still trying to find myself.
Yeah.
I think I did pretty well getting here.
All right. That's amazing. One of the things that you highlighted on, getting pregnant at 14, that's a very traumatic situation. And a lot of girls don't really recover from that. Like, how do you feel, like, comparing where you are right now? How do you feel? How do you advise other people to deal with that situation? Healing wise, and also progress wise.
Definitely not how I did it. That's why I'm currently a public speaker at events and high schools. Predominantly because I'm speaking to little preciouses in high schools. Because I got pregnant at 14, and I feel everything I did is kind of what I would advise them not to do, to basically try to walk over it as if it doesn't exist. Basically try to escape the pain. So you are basically escaping into this, literally a fantasy world, because that's basically what I did. I literally didn't focus on whatever was happening. I do advise that we don't focus on the pain. We do try to be better. But then let's not deny ourselves our feelings. So I felt it was not okay for me to feel pain and to acknowledge that I'm in pain. I felt it was not, I basically felt I was a disgrace and a disappointment to an extent of not deserving any level of recognition at that time. So, when you basically hate yourself for the mistake that you did. Therefore, you just want to bypass whatever that you are at the moment, because you feel like you're nothing. You need things to make you something. So I needed to achieve. So nobody can tell me they love me, and I believe it. Basically, even if it's my mom. For me, when she looks at me, I see her being disappointed. I feel her hate. Even if she could probably be looking at me thinking I'm beautiful, I didn't feel beautiful. So there's a reason why I just point out to my mom, that's basically 1% that you would feel like should love you naturally, your parents, your family. But then the pain of being pregnant at 14, you are disappointed in yourself. You've disappointed everybody else around you. So you feel undeserving of love and acceptance. So that's what I'm basically advising somebody that would have made a mistake in their life, to say, please remember in that moment that you are still deserving of grace. You are still deserving of love.
Yeah.
You are still deserving of sunshine because the sun still shines on you. Like, God doesn't abandon you because of the mistake that you did. So I think in that moment, I was angry at God too, to say, God, how can you allow my virginity to be taken and for me to be pregnant at the same time? If God exists, how can something like that happen? Because I was the only virgin in class. I was being made fun of for the fact that I'm a virgin and I'm the youngest.
And you lose confidence that you're young.
Yeah, but then to lose my virginity and suddenly be the laughing stock. When I'm passing through class, I hear, oh, le virgin le pregnant. You know? So that's how I just felt God didn't love me. So if God didn't love me, how can my parents love me? How can anyone love me? So that's something I want to point out to anyone who ever makes a mistake, to say, can you still remember that? Somebody
Have grace on yourself.
Have grace on yourself, because it basically starts with you. So now, how I treated myself from there is, anyone says you're pretty, I don't believe you, I don't, But luckily, I thought there's something that can be better in the future. So I can deserve grace maybe somewhere in the future. I need things to basically make me feel like. So if you see the goals that I have and I achieve them. I mean, my parents had promised me that they were going to buy me a car if I keep my virginity. So if I go and get the car myself, then I'll feel something about myself,
okay
you see?
everything.
Yeah, so I literally just forgot about the moment, and then I focused on what I can do in future. So, yeah, my hate for boys helped me. And then, and then no one should be better than me, especially a boy. You can't tell me any boy is better than me in class. That's good. So I got 3 A's, metric, and then finally, finally, then I was in varsity. So the challenge also that I'd like, if there's a parent watching, Mama, Papa, also please remember that the child has made a mistake, and that's it. That child has made a mistake. Now, he shouldn't be punished for the rest of their lives, because now that's going to make their identity. Now they are that thing they did. Because now, I went to varsity, I nearly didn't even have a choice of where to go. I remember my dad was like, let's hide you somewhere in Zanin, and then you just focus and we choose a career for you, at least to make something of yourself. And my A's gave me this confidence of saying, no, but university will accept me, and then luckily, University of Johannesburg did accept me. The first year, I didn't know what I wanted. I was somewhere in Harangua, upgrading, and then saying I'm in Medunsa because upgrading didn't really look good, because I was just obsessed with perfection, an image of whatever perfection is. Like, I'm just an overachiever now. Like, I'm always achieving.
Right.
So I'm going to keep up an image of achieving always. Because if I'm not achieving, what am I? So if people talk about me, they must talk about success. If you're saying Precious, you must associate her with she's in university. Even if it's not true at that moment, hey, it gotta be. And then, like, you just associate me with greatness, and then that's how I'll feel like. Otherwise, nobody can just love me for me.
One thing that I really appreciate about this conversation, is like, I believe, and when I started this whole podcast, creating a healthy and healing conversation, just creating a safe space in general, do you feel like you're at a point that you have healed, you're okay with everything? Breathe. Like, breathe, have you feel like you healed now, you're okay now?
I'll honestly say, right, this is honest. Throughout the pageant, I think God did something, man. God did something. Because throughout, when I was a finalist for the year, I literally focused on my pain for the first time. I mean, throughout, I knew and acknowledged what happened to me, but there's something that triggered me this year in 2024.
Yeah.
And it was like, you know, when you finally see yourself for the mistakes that you keep repeating.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You're like, okay, I worked hard. I achieved everything that I ever wanted to achieve in life and whatever. And then COVID happened. When COVID happened, obviously, life was like, oh, for everybody. Everybody didn't know what they were doing. We were like, now mental health was a big thing, you know, but as much as I went through things, I ended up in therapy and everything. But this year brought Precious back to herself.
Yeah.
Because there's a moment that I found myself rolling on the floor, crying. In that moment, literally where you feel like, yeah, I've worked hard. I've achieved whatever that I thought would make me worthy of anything, but I'm not happy.
Yeah.
So I joined Miss Curvilicious pageant, and I've decided, it was a decision to say I'm going to heal through this process.
Yeah.
And I'm doing mental health. Mental health is my segment, is my advocacy. And I'm literally a case of study for that. I'm literally, number one, heal while you are watching me. I'm going to heal while you are watching. I'm going to heal right in front of you. Yeah. So I felt like I was doing well. I was healing. That's what I felt. Until this moment on stage, when they were now about to announce, we are top 3.
Yeah.
We are now finally at that moment you've been working hard to get to.
Yeah. The pressure.
Yeah. The pressure. We've worked. We've done everything. I've worked very hard. If you look at my journey, you'll see.
Yeah.
Now we are finally at that moment, top 3. It's real. Who are they going to call? This is the moment I've been waiting for.
Yeah.
Maybe when I get that crown and I'm walking there, I'll finally say, I have healed. I mean, you watched me go through this. You've watched me cry right in front of you. Therefore, when we get the crown, we should feel that, you know? And then I'm right there on stage. They ask us questions, the same question, all of us. And then we answer it. I feel I've answered it the best way possible. And then I felt this moment where they said, they're calling a second princess, and they called my name. Second runner-up.
Yeah.
The hall, I had the hall go crazy. Like, that's not possible. I had, Team Precious Gold was up in arms. I had all that. But, things went quiet inside of me. Like, literally silence. It was like, boom.
Yeah, it dropped.
Silence.
Nice.
I think that's why we find pageant queens falling on stage. I think those are the moments. Those are things that happen to them.
Yeah.
Like, you thought you were the main, and then there you are, not getting it.
Not getting it,
So some fall off, some go whatever. That's mental health, because you, in your head, have already lived through everything and you've gotten the crown. I already did get my crown. I did.
Yeah.
Like a week before, I was donating shoes. I had gotten sponsors for my shoe drive. I was at home. Everything that I had done throughout my finalist journey got me my crown. But right there, I wanted the Miss Curvilicious crown. Forgetting that, girl, the journey here was not even about that crown.
Yeah.
You wanted to heal through this, and you got your healing. Now, on the stage, you didn't get this.
Yeah.
Then it's like a unwinding. You know, you've worked so hard, and now suddenly it's like, dude, you're back, you're crashing. So I felt like I was crashing. So everything ended. I remember my family came through, and I remember when they came up on stage, I was like, the fact that my family drove from Lephalale, those are people that I wanted to make proud. When I said I didn't feel loved throughout and I wanted them to love me for something, they came for the pageant. They would love me because I'm now a pageant queen, you know? But then they loved me despite ever being whatever pageant queen. It was not even that.
Yeah.
So I needed to find it in myself that I'm deserving of love, which I honestly felt throughout the journey as I was healing. But right there on stage, that's when it was like this moment where I was like, And then they came and joined me for pictures. And we're like, oh my God, we are so proud of you. And I felt like, how can you be proud? I didn't get that crown. I didn't get the main crown. How can you be proud? And then as it's happening, as like that whole night, I'm confused. My mind is just all over. I'm all over. That night, we, as queens, the three of us end up in the same room, and then we are now talking. And then Mulalo Maputa, the main queen, she mentioned something. And then I found myself crying. She just mentioned kids, my kids. And I remembered that when I was on stage, one of the defining moments was when they were like, golden girl, and it's your daughter. You can hear the voices, the little voices.
Yeah.
All my kids are there. And my
Adorable.
family is there. And like, it's loud. I can hear them. So when she mentioned them, it all came back that, oh my God, remember what happened this night? Like that, it was amazing. This night was amazing. There, I cried.
Yeah.
I broke down.
She's a joy.
I won't even say it was joy. Honestly, I don't even think it was joy. I think it was, when you're just confused within your feelings, you just don't know what's happening with you. Yeah. So there's anger, there's grief, let's call it grief. But then I feel, that's why I'm saying God did something there, because I feel like as much as I've been praying and stuff, God answered. That's the thing, God answered. And then sometimes you're being tested also. So that was the test. Like now, you were about healing, you were teaching people, you were talking mental health. What does that even look like? What does it even mean? What does it mean for even everybody else that didn't get the crown? Of course, not everybody is going to get the crown. What does it mean? What are you teaching? Who are you representing? All these questions. I was like, God, what is it? What is it? What is it? So from that night, going back to my place, I didn't want anyone. I just wanted to process my feelings. Like, what is this? What am I feeling? What is it? And I found myself in this deep level of joy throughout. When just this joy that you're just living through the little moments that happened, everything. And I'm like, oh my God, I really got my crown. I really did. And that's where I feel I found my healing. And I feel I'm sitting here as a healed woman.
Congratulations. I just want to say congratulations for healing. A lot of us, we go through that situation, and then we find ourselves crushed. 15 years. I think, healing is a process.
It's a process.
It's not like a blink of an eye and then you're okay. You've healed, I
actually wanted to mention that, like, I don't think you get to a point where you would say I've healed, I don't think you get there with mental health. It's a work in progress, because there are triggers. You just now need to manage and live through. You just need to get better at it, on managing whatever trigger it is, and then understand what is your triggers. Understand yourself more. I feel that's where I got.
Speaking of mental health, what ways can we create positive conversation on mental health in pageantry spaces?
I feel like we are doing well. I honestly feel like pageantry is doing well. Recently, I've heard a few people speak about being mental health activists. So there's a space for it. Just women, pageantry, like I know they're mean, right? It's a competition. So mental health is a big part of it, because we are all going through the same kind of thing and our own personal struggles. So I feel pageantry can be more open. Like we can do even better, because I think more of like your do they like different pageants? I know there are different pageants where you would have like classes. You would have what do we call it? I lost. What's this thing? It's I forgot that thing. It's like classes of some sort. Classes of some sort. Workshops. Yes. I feel every pageant should have workshops on mental health, because it's the biggest part of any competition. Because every queen must understand that they don't need that crown because there's only one crown. You don't need it to basically now solidify that you are a queen. It's not really about that. It's about your journey. It's about your advocacy. It's about what you stand for more than anything. And you can build from there. So once you focus on your why, so your advocacy is your why, is why are you doing this? So if we focus more on that, like in our workshops, let's talk more about that to say, remember what your advocacy is. And can you really build on that? Whoever gets the crown at the end, we clap, we are okay. We know that each and every one of us has gotten to points where you can continue with your advocacy.
Yeah, true. Oh, amazing, amazing. I wish I could clap more, and you want to talk about the organization, the SASH.
Miss Cavalicious.
Miss Cavalicious. What values do they stand for?
So Miss Cavalicious is a home for full-figured voluptuous women. Size 36 up. That's a requirement for you to be
size.
Specific. We want you as curvy as possible, and curvy everywhere, not curvy in specific places. So curvy arms, curvy big. That's just what it's about. And it's preaching self-love. It's preaching self-acceptance, and we are also not really advocating for your obesity and stuff. We're not saying be big and relax. We're also fitness queens. Yeah, fitness models.
Okay. That's amazing. Well, what advice do you have for people that look up to you, people that are still going through that journey of healing, going through everything something similar to what you went through? What advice do you have for them?
I'll speak firstly to Team Precious Gold. I know how hurt they were that I didn't win. Team Precious Gold, we got our crown. The biggest advice I have is for us to be true to ourselves. Let's be true to why did I like this person to start with. Let's start there. What feelings did she evoke in myself? Right? So I'd really advocate for everybody to be truthful with themselves. And then that's just the biggest advice I can give, to say it doesn't even matter. The outside noise, that's just noise. Whatever anyone else says about you and whatever about your journey and about your success, about whatever, literally, it's just noise. Yeah, so let's just be true to ourselves and our journeys and focus on that more than anything. Apparently, focus on your glass, drink your water, mama.
Mind your business.
Mind your business. Mind the business that pays you. I mean, that's really what I can really advise. I mean, we are struggling with a lot already. I like saying the world is conspiring against us already. South Africa's economy is not doing great. So my advocacy is mental health, but then I'm focusing on mental fitness. So I'm basically saying mental fitness is a primary requirement for everybody to function best in the economic climate of South Africa. I'm being specific to South Africa, but then it's also the world. The currency is not doing great. So finances, taxes, there's just a lot. We are struggling with economy. We can't struggle with ourselves too. There's a lot of battles that we are facing. So with mental fitness, can we be mentally fit enough to just be able to handle the pressures of life? So that requires giving ourselves grace first, and then in that way, you can focus in the day, wake up and then meditate if you need to. If it's gym that works for you, if it's a walk, just take care of you first, then the world can follow.
Thank you so much for coming on the safe space. I don't know. Can we continue?
I don't mind.
Thank you so much for coming. And I really do appreciate it. And to all the young girls, all young boys that are going through the path of healing, may you continue heal. And where can people follow you? And if maybe they want to collaborate with you, and
I love collaborations. So hit me up. Search on Google, Precious Manaka, it will basically link you to any platform that you use the most. If it's TikTok, it's Queen_Precious Gold, and then Precious Manaka Gold on Facebook and Instagram, and then Precious Manaka on LinkedIn.
Girl. I wish I was wearing that.
Well, it's up there, King.
Yeah.
It's really up there.
Snatched. Thank you so much for coming, and I really do appreciate it. And I wish you all the best with your reign. Until next year, we'll talk about different things. Maybe we're going beyond.
We're going. We're not stopping.
Yeah.
The journey just continues.
Yeah, fact. Yeah. If you want to be part of the KJ Real Talk and create a healthy and healing conversation, don't hesitate to come in here through conversation. Hit me up on Instagram, the KJ Real Talk, or email me, the KJRealTalk@gmail.com. By the way, we're looking for co-hosts. If you want to be part of the team and create an amazing conversation and diverse conversation, don't hesitate to email me right there, link below.